Welcome to Continued Engagement, helping groups make decisions. Groups, rather than individuals, are often the best hope to solve complex problems. But engaging your stakeholders through group decision-making leads to a really deeper commitment. But sometimes people withhold ideas and aren't heard due to personal style or politics. So often to get to the best results, a leader, like you as a network leader, must skillfully facilitate a group through that process. And that's what we're here about, is to talk about skillfully facilitating that group through the process. My name is Deborah Lane, and I am a member of the Technical Assistance Team at Rural Health Innovations. Rural Health Innovations provides technical support to two of the HRSA grant programs, and that would be for the Allied Health Workforce Program and the Network Development Program. RHI is a part of, or a subsidiary of, I should say, of the National Rural Health Resource Center, and we often refer to ourselves as the center. Our work totally focuses around sustaining and improving health in rural communities, and our work falls into 5 general buckets, of which I'm sure many of your projects fall into these buckets as well. Transition to value and population health. As a network, you are collaborating and developing partnerships, and we do a lot of work around collaboration and partnership building. Performance improvement. Technology is a part of all of the work we're doing, all networks, the work that we do at the center. So we have a group that works with health information technology. And finally, we do have a group that works on workforce development, because we all know that that is extremely important as well to futuring our efforts. I always like to be able to explore a subject more deeply, so I put this slide in here for you for later reference. Because of how good this resource is, many parts of this presentation are adapted from the Facilitator's Guide to Participatory Decision-Making by Sam Kainer. In this presentation, you will learn how groups make decisions and how to keep them engaged. The accompanying worksheet will give you some very specific tools for ways of engaging your stakeholders during the decision-making process. You as a network leader lead diverse groups. You need diverse groups to make your projects work. If you have decisions that need to be made in order to accomplish your goals, you want to involve and sustain as many members and sustain that engagement as much as you can. The key here is really getting those decisions made by that larger group. And in order to get them made, you need to engage them. And so it's often accomplished by running very effective meetings and helping those groups make decisions. And that's what we're here today to talk about, is running those effective meetings and helping those groups make decisions. For our purposes today, engagement means to attract and hold attention and to gain support. And we need to do this with our board members, providers, patients, staff, partners, network members, community members, all those that you may come in contact with. Does this sound like something you may need to do for your projects and your initiatives? We're going to look below the surface today at the things that happen in group decision-making and look at how that group comes to agreement and solidifies that decision. I want to see if this describes how all of your groups make decisions. Starting from left to right, you introduce a new topic. Let's say you just found out that your grant funding is going to go away a year earlier than you anticipated. So your question or your new topic is, what do we do? Over the course of time, for example, in a meeting, each person in your group equally offers an opinion or information. And before long, everybody seems to see a logical choice, and they come together and agree on that decision. Only in your dreams, right? I wish all of our decisions were made easy like this, but sometimes it can be easy. Once in a while, if the topic is uncontroversial or there are no high stakes, it can happen that way. However, there is a more typical pattern that you may have experienced. If people have diverse styles, opinions, and backgrounds, you may see something like this pattern here, where a topic is introduced, everyone begins to say what they think, and the discussion goes off track or goes down multiple directions, or as I often say, goes down a lot of different rabbit trails. Another possibility may be something like this, which is even more challenging. A group starts to discuss a topic, but there's no obvious solution, and the group begins to feel stuck and can even start to show irritation with the process or with each other. What happens sometimes is that as a network leader, when you have experienced one of those things where they go off in many different directions and no decision point is made, or they start getting irritated for each other, we might jump in and decide to make the decision or end the discussion prematurely. The long-term effects of this, however, are eventually lack of trust, confusion about the process that they were asked to engage in, and potentially the unwillingness to support that decision. And you're drawing groups of people together in order to take and make effective decisions and have them engaged and be committed behind that decision. Complex problems that don't have obvious solutions benefit from considering varied perspectives. When a topic is raised and the group offers differing opinions, it often leads to a much more rich discussion and a deeper understanding of the topic. Healthy discussions start with this phase, the divergent phase. There does need to be a point when the varied perspectives are weighed, and with the insight that has been gained, an informed choice or decision is made. And this is called the convergent phase, or the coming together from different directions. The next slide here details out characteristics of these two phases. The divergent phase is the part of the discussion where many ideas are gathered for consideration. Various alternatives are suggested. People contribute as they think of ideas. Different perspectives are encouraged, and insight is gained about the problem or the issue and what it all actually involves and entails. The convergent phase is the time when the group of stakeholders evaluates the alternatives presented, summarizes what has been learned, and sorts the ideas and comes to a conclusion. And then there's the often difficult phase between gathering ideas and coming to a conclusion. And we'll refer to it as the groan zone. It's the time the discussion seems stalled. There's a lack of agreement or understanding, and seems like there's no end in sight. Perhaps you've been at a meeting like this recently. Perhaps you have been the leader of a meeting where this has happened. I'm going to slow down here a bit, and I want you to think about how did you feel